Hello and welcome to the Black Mind Podcast, episode 183. My name is Jeff. Joining me this week is Allan.
Hi. Oh boy,
Hi.
we got a topic to talk about this week.
Man, it's so fun when a company just shits all over themselves and dies horribly. But Josh, you got some opinions on this thing, but
All right, wait. Now we gotta explain what this topic is first.
Stupid Gillette commercial, right? The stupid Gillette commercial.
yeah.
That I've seen this and I'm like, okay, it looks fine on the like the top part of it, and I viewed it at least a couple of times, and I'm like, I don't really see what's the negative in this stupid commercial. I see it's kind of fine,
So
but I'm sure someone's going to explain why it's terrible.
Yeah, and like I gotta throw my hat in the ring too. It's like when everyone was bitching about the Gillette commercial, I was like, there was a commercial I literally watched that day, which was athlete with one hand playing football, and I was like, oh, that's very wholesome. Why is everyone hating on that commercial? And then I saw that other commercial. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to switch to Dollar Shave Club or just not buy their razors as much as I used to. Who cares? It's not a big deal. I have better things to do in my life than fucking...
same razor for like a year.
I do. It's very easy.
Okay, you guys ready for this?
Yeah, Allan, I'm ready for I'm ready for you to correct us and explain why this is terrible. Because I'm pretty sure I know why it's terrible.
All right.
And it's really funny.
Story times, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Remember what Gillette's motto used to be before this trailer happened? The best a man can get. It is spoken.
Sure.
It is, and this is how I looked at it. It is spoken as though as someone is handing you a Gillette razor because this is the best gear you can have to shave your face. It is spoken as a servant to the master. So you assume as a man that you are in a position of authority, and thank you, Gillette, for providing me this wonderful gear. But they changed it for this one.
They did.
Yeah, and you can tell because what was it? It was,
and when I found out about it, I was like, oh, this is so fucking stupid. Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, it's the best, and the statement is now is the best a man can be, and with this commercial, it is hugely inappropriate because it makes rough housing and play housing look like it's wrong. You need to and they make the statement that the argument of boys will be boys makes it look entirely bad with all men repeating it all the time, and they immediately equate hashtag Me Too movement with that because someone like Harvey Weinstein well, we all agree is a big problem. You know what? We all agree that, and we all know that we don't like rapists or sexual predators and stuff like that. But they equate that with all men because hashtag Me Too. Even though the hashtag Me Too movement has been co-opted by everyone who wants to just use sexual assault as a weapon against men to shut them down, as a good example is Bernie Sanders.
Can I jump in on that for 5 seconds?
No, I'm not done. No, this is.
I just want to jump in at the end.
This is like a full hard rant. Secondly,
trust me, dude. Go ahead.
This is gonna scorched earth policy with me from Gillette. I don't buy Gillette, but now they've completely turned me completely away from Gillette. They point out the fact that they make the idea of how bullying is just a men thing with the boys chasing the one kid, with how a girl receives a text that's a freak comment. Most men don't actually bully that way. It's, believe it or not, that's women girls who do that because women are horrible like that. Then there's the topic of where again you see the Young Turks shows up on screen, and that should be a red flag to everyone because the Young Turks is literally the most disinformation newscast in huge quotations that of all the people that they show up on the screen for all the newscasts, and they constantly just they put up Terry Crews up on the thing who's you know what? Terry Crews has a point. We should hold men more accountable. But that was in response to him actually being sexually assaulted by someone who's in a senior position in Hollywood. Again, Hollywood. Don't assume all men are like that. Stop that. And that's the reason why. It's because it went from the reason why people responded so viscerally, so angrily to the Gillette commercial is because instead of Gillette being here's a product that we can do that can make your shaving go great, all you're supposed to do is just sell razors. That's all you need to do. That's all you want to do is just to sell razors. Because guess what? You're not to moralize your audience. You're not to moralize towards your goddamn customers. Because the moment you do that, you turn them away from you. And that's the reason why Gillette stocks have that's the reason why like everyone's been in response to it is, all right, we don't disagree with the point of the message because the point of the message is, again, it is actually a good point. It's like, no, we need to call out like bad behavior when it happens. But the way the message is portrayed and the way you aggrandize and soapboxed us is dumb. Fuck off. Fuck Gillette.
Yeah, I got a lot of things I got to say about that because it's like Hollywood is not the center of the world. So the fact that like a lot of the people who sit there and say Me Too is very important and all men are like this because Hollywood is like this, it completely is stupid and retarded in my opinion. I got another thing I got to sit there and say about this commercial is that it's turned Marty O'Donnell to Dollar Shave Club, and like part of me doesn't care enough about this stupid ad because in my fucking brain it's stupid and dumb. And I understand where all the vitriol is coming from. I understand where everyone's complaining from, but it's like the only people who are actually really liking this ad is feminists. Mm-hmm. And most feminists I have talked to who have been male have been, and this is just my personal opinion, have been the least cool individuals around. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to put them down and stuff like that. There are certainly cooler feminists out there, but it's like I have seen a male feminist at a strip club getting two girls drunk. I was there. I didn't sit there and say anything, and I sat there and I said, "Don't you think that's wrong?" to a buddy of mine. And he agreed. It's kind of creepy. And this guy went on a rant about how all Trump's voters are Nazis and stuff like that because Trump is such a Nazi, eh? That is something very important to understand. And I don't like. I find a lot of male feminists like that. It's just hard for me in order to sit there and go, yeah, okay, Me Too is very important. Go after your own guys for once in your life. Terry Crews is 100% right. Terry Crews is a male victim. And it's just disheartening.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
Because it's like, it's not even kicking you while it's down. It's like, it's hey, you're fucking terrible and stuff like that. Meanwhile, any of their ads that are pumping up ladies and stuff like that is like, hey, look at how awesome you are. And it's like, yeah, because women are awesome. And so are men. Men are awesome too. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. Everyone who's on this earth is awesome. Like, I don't like Hillary Clinton. She fucking is a very accomplished human being, probably far more accomplished than me, and probably going to be like 20 times more accomplished than I ever will be.
Yeah.
Like, everyone here is awesome in their own way, and it's like, it's kind of like we got to stop beating each other down, and just as a society. Because it's just getting to the point where it's like, okay, Are we just going to continue doing this? Okay, great. I'll ignore it and move on with my life and give you guys a middle finger and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck off. Oh, and you want this? Shove it up your vagina and you can shove this one up your asshole. Like, it's completely, like, to that point now where it's like you might as well just be seeing it going, fuck off. Just shove it up your ass. 20 times better and 20 times easier. Take that broom and shove it up your ass, because that's where it belongs. Clearly, with how many brooms are shoved up your ass. That's just my personal opinion. Josh had a few things to say about this. You don't care, do you?
Yeah, like...
You think it's stupid.
It's just... The message was there. Just equate... Like, Like now you point out the fumbles. It's like, well, yeah, they're fumbles. I don't think they're that big.
No. When a company fumbles, because this is how bad it was, they deleted the video, re-uploaded to get rid of the amount of dislikes on it.
I love how companies try to pull that off, and it's like, you can't do that. It's like, it'll just go back up again. Like, what are you trying to stop here?
The fact that they're trying to sell a narrative that doesn't work. It's Diablo Immortal all over again. The only difference is this time it's with razors, not with a video game.
But it's like, to get rid of the video, put it back up again, and think everything be hunky-dory. And it's like, no. People just go back and spite you again. Like, you're an idiot.
This isn't like what should I say?
Oh, this isn't. By the way, do you want to know how bad the dislike ratio is to the like ratio right now?
I want to know the percentage.
It's a 2-to-1 odd. It's 1 million dislikes to 571,000 likes.
That's not disappointing. It's not YouTube Rewind level. But to me, it's just like it just reads as if like if Gillette really understood their customer basis, they wouldn't do this.
No.
And they don't. So okay, I guess everyone should buy Dollar Shave Club, which is what you should be doing already.
Oh, can I segue into video game?
You can,
because you said companies understanding their consumers. You know what? Another company doesn't understand their consumers whatsoever is EA.
Oh, what did they do?
There's been some tweets that have been sprouting up that's showing how nearsighted and what's another word I want to say? Nearsighted and just
stupid.
They don't listen, like they don't read or listen outside of their bubble.
Oh.
To the point of like apparently KOTOR 3 would have been made by now, but the fucking EA execs couldn't get their heads out of their asses to realize, oh, people want more than just lightsabers, Chewbacca, and fucking the Force.
Wait.
It's like, of course they want more than just that. It's like,
Stop.
Fuck.
Stop.
It's like one of the best RPG series ever, and they couldn't realize what's the most important thing about the series. It's the universe.
Stop.
Like, come on.
Josh.
Deep breath.
Josh.
For fuck's sake.
Josh.
These execs don't know anything.
Josh. Well, Josh. No,
so
stop.
Stupid.
Stop. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. And
Josh, don't have a heart attack.
God. Like, I don't care. There's the reason why I don't care about Star Wars in general, because it's like, oh man, I like the universe, but there's like so much shit to go through. But I'm like, I enjoy it's there. But just reading this, it's like, oh my god, you don't understand your job at all.
Josh, it's okay.
Wow.
Josh,
it's okay.
stop.
It's okay.
Stop.
It's okay.
Stop.
Take your Kylo Ren body pillow and cry into it, okay?
No. Jesus Christ. No. Josh, listen to me.
I enjoyed that. That was good.
Josh, listen to me. Listen to me deeply and carefully for a couple minutes, man.
No, actually, what's that stupid monster in the pit? What's that name again?
The
Rhyncor?
the Sarlacc.
Rancor.
Yeah, is it Rhyncor or Sarlacc or something? I don't know.
Actually, no. Wait, which pit are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. The fucking God. Why? I'm put on the spot now. I can't remember shit.
Is it the pit that Luke goes in? Is the pit that Luke almost gets thrown in and then kills Chewbacca?
Yes.
Okay, Sarlacc. That's a Sarlacc.
Sarlacc,
that's a Sarlacc,
right?
yeah.
I want a Sarlacc body pillow.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, but no, Josh, welcome to the dark side. Let the rage flow through you when it's necessary. But right now, I agree with you. Like, the executives don't know what they're fucking doing because they haven't known what they're doing for literally years.
So many years.
When did EA fire their last executive and then traded Peter Moore away? Yeah, it almost seems like that guy's a fucking Nimrod.
Mm-hmm. But that's beside the point right now because.
But it's 100% confirmed.
No, stop. I know, but.
But Allan, this is what we do. We beat on EA until they listen, and they haven't listened at all.
They won't listen.
They'll never listen.
Of course they'll never listen. They only care about the money they're rolling in.
Yes, I know. But that's the thing, though, is
the money has stopped.
what we need to realize is this is the reason why I hate companies moralizing at me, and it's the reason why I haven't supported anything related to, like, a good example, EA in a while. I haven't looked at, like, major companies and stuff like that. I'm happy Activision is slowly dying. I'm happy that, honestly, I hope to God above that Bungie survives, but at the same time, I don't think Bungie will.
Bungie has recently separated from Activision.
I know that.
I think they're going to do fine, bud.
I don't know.
It's highly possible.
The reason why I say I don't know is because even when they were even though they're like a new their own studio and stuff like that, they have the problem of who's going to publish from.
Right.
Who's going to publish Anthem? Who's going to publish Anthem? Is that's BioWare.
You're confusing Destiny 3 with Anthem. I don't think they're going to do a Destiny 3.
No, it's not. It's not going to happen because unfortunately,
I think they're going to do yearly.
Because the problem is that they're like Bungie's untouchable now. Like, you can't touch them because like, you have how many licenses and creative rights from them that has to go to other companies. Like, example, Halo, Destiny. Those are only two, but Destiny has been so closely tied to, like, the gaming market because of Activision that if anybody goes to try and publish it, that's going to be like fucking hellfire and a half. And Microsoft now basically controls Halo entirely through 343 Industries. That's the reason why they bought it back off of Bungie when they left, because they were like, we don't want to yield this over to them because it's our, like, flagship company or our flagship game. And on top of that, we got to realize that, like, they have no other license. They have no like Bungie can make cool universes, but they can't make as much as I love the original Halo games, as much as I love the earlier works and stuff like that, Bungie is not what they used to be, and I don't think they would ever recover from what they've even with them leaving Activision. They're like, if that's going to suspend their life for maybe another 2-3 years.
I think that you're wrong, and I don't want to go into. Well, actually, no, I do want to go into why. I think that the player base is hardcore enough to give them money year over year. And I think that what this does is I think that they're doing the thing that Blizzard... I think that they're doing the thing where they're distancing themselves away from bad corporate decisions. But the problem is that how many of those people who were making... Was all of the terrible decisions made by Bungie, or were they a fallout of Activision?
I would that's the thing, guys. I really do think that out of the two of them, I do think that Bungie's actually more to blame for the stuff that happened with, what happened with.
And the thing is that, part of the game is completely fine. Like, the game is 10 times better now than it was at launch. It's 100 times, there are things in that game that are really good. The recent controversy is very middling, Because the controversy is basically like, oh, this puzzle was way too hard for us to solve, so the community didn't solve it, and then they gave away the DLC for free anyways. It's like, oh, okay. So everyone's pissed off because they couldn't solve a puzzle. That makes total sense, I guess. Even though this entire DLC has been not like their previous DLCs, more of like, oh, you have to do, it's a new activity and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, whatever. It's a new raid. Okay, cool. I like raids. Raids are fun.
But like for me, with how Destiny's been launched, how Destiny's been developed, it's been misstep after misstep after misstep, and and that's the thing is, it's consistent. It's a consistent problem, and I don't think it's only Activision. I think it's on Bungie's part too, and I think it's actually more on Bungie's part because they're not because Activision isn't the one that is only publishing it. Sure, they're giving a Bungie objectives, and if it's the timeline's too short, that's on Activision, sure, but Bungie's Bungie put out Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST, and put out DLCs regularly for 3 months after every game for I think a year and a half for all those games consistently. And they can't do it for a single crew. Like the entire Bungie crew is working on one game now. They can't seem to get it right on launch and on every like major expansion launch and in every major like gameplay update and stuff like that. Like no, like that's not on Activision. That one's on Bungie. And again, if it's just the time constraints, it's like I will give them credit to a point that it would be more Activision's fault. But there's to a point. And Bungie I know for a fact can work under crunch because we had Reach. We've had ODST was meant to be a DLC originally.
Oh yeah.
And they made it into a full game because if they didn't make it into a full game, it would have been like a $40 launch DLC, and nobody would have bought it.
Well, it's originally meant to be $40, and I think the difference is that it was okay. I think that like I'm not going to sit there and say that you're wrong by what you're saying, and I think that you're 100% right. The gaps have been consistent enough to the point of where it's like, yeah, you should give up. But like, again, I think that there's enough of a community there that's willing to look past all of the rough patches and move on. It's like a hit of crack every 3 weeks, basically. Like that's the only way I can really explain it is like they'll sit there, get angry about it because it's not what they want, and then they'll take it anyways.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, but that's not how you should want it to be like looking at a situation. You should be like, if I played Destiny and that was how they came out, that it was like hit a crack every time it came out for me, I should be immediately questioning why I'm playing this game. Because a good example is like I love my Hearts of Iron and I love my Stellaris and I love my Dark Souls and stuff like that. Dark Souls hasn't updated in years other than the recent re-release of the original game. Hearts of Iron has been waiting for its last update for I think now since at least of March of last year. I've been waiting a year for its last update. Stellaris has put out 2 updates since then. So I haven't had to wait that long for Stellaris. But Stellaris has always been a bit more consistent because it gets the update out. And that's the thing is, Paradox in comparison to Bungie is night and day because Paradox does a weekly talk about what they're doing every week, regardless of what's going on. They'll say someday it's delayed or it might not be as extensive as it was the previous week, but it's still going to be talked about. Hearts of Iron is the same. Hearts of Iron, again, by Paradox. It's every week unless there's something that comes up where it's like, no, we're doing a special event, like a live stream where we like gather some of the community in and we play a big World War II game map. Or we're discussing like the new updates to the naval system. So like it's constantly like they constantly give us information. Whereas from what I've heard from Bungie, is there's a pack coming. Okay, when's it released? It's released on this day. Are we going to get information like what's going to fixed and what's going to get changed? No. And then you guys won't find out till maybe 2 weeks beforehand. And then you guys get a hold of it. You guys this isn't what we wanted, but we accept it because we're not going to get anything else. That should be a big flag. That should be like, that's a huge red flag to me. Like I understand why people don't like Paradox. Paradox puts out DLC, like Paradox is the worst for DLC because it has the problem of constantly like no matter what, it's every like 6 to 8 months you'll get an update. Here's a new DLC that's like $10, $20. The big ones are $30 in some cases. And you just keep getting more DLC, more DLC, more DLC. And sure, half the DLC you might never use, and the other half you'll like makes it like entirely necessary.
Mhm.
But the thing is with how they do their DLC, it's they constantly let you guys know what's going on. They don't stop talking. They constantly talk to us. They make sure we know what's going on. BattleTech. BattleTech is one of their games. We just received a DLC called Flashpoints. We're getting a DLC for City Fights here soon. Man, this is like, again, it's such a... For me right now, it's me being very skeptical of Bungie because honestly...
And you're allowed to.
Because honestly...
And you're allowed to.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, but like this is like oh, like EA doesn't like listening to their fans. Very obviously, going back to the original topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if EA wanted to make $1 million and like redeem part of the Star Wars franchise and make the Star Wars fans want to like salivate at the seams, they would release a KOTOR 3 single player game. But EA doesn't understand their player base very obviously, and they don't really give two shits. If I was Sony, I would go to EA and I would try to get them to make this game exclusively for me, or if I was Microsoft, I would do that. Hell, if I was Nintendo, I would do that.
Microsoft would be more than likely one who would go
Microsoft
after.
would be so funny.
Microsoft would be... No, that's the thing is KOTOR was originally on the original Xbox.
But what I mean by that is like why it would be so funny. And I'm sorry for interrupting you. And
no, go for it. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's like it would be hilarious because like you want to see like a bunch of people buy like Xbox Ones and make like the Xbox One like the most demanded console of all time. You'd release KOTOR 3.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it makes sense. Especially if it was like grade A, like if it was like one of those grade A games where you're like, oh my god, I have to buy KOTOR, and then like you would have like it would be like Kingdom Hearts, only good.
Actually, Kingdom Hearts is
a story that makes sense.
It would make sense.
No, it wouldn't.
Allan, are we gonna have you do a video explaining Kingdom Hearts?
I've played Kingdom Hearts. Or some of it, at least.
Good. Do a video. I'll post it on the YouTube channel.
No. Again, you got to realize that I'm not super deep into the... I could get my friend who could literally just explain it. Like Christina, she plays it. She knows the lore way better than I do.
Get her to explain it. Do a video on it. How many 5s would I have to give her?
A lot.
How many cups of coffee is that?
A lot. To mind you, it'd only be like, I think 5. But like,
5?
But the thing is, like, it's not that hard to follow the Kingdom Hearts story. It's the reason why it's so like difficult to follow is because of how the games were released. Because a lot of people assume it's 1, 2, and then a bunch of side games. But all those side games that people keep thinking that are like, oh my god, it's just like side games. Nobody has to worry about it and stuff like that. Well,
they're all integral.
No, not only are they all integral, they all add stuff to the main story to such a point that you actually should play them or at least watch the cutscenes. Like that's how like intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and it's scary. And it sounds stupid and dumb. Let's make 14 games that add on to the same story that totally didn't result in another game franchise getting killed.
Kingdom Hearts hasn't been killed though. Kingdom Hearts is alive and well. It's just that like unfortunately because of like scheduling issues, game development issues and stuff like that in Japan with like Square Enix, because you got to remember Kingdom Hearts is made by Square Enix. It's not made by like other JRPG companies where they can actually get out a game consistently. It's made by Square Enix, so like the constant problem is the fact that, hey, we're Square Enix. Let's go put out another Final Fantasy. Let's go put out let's put out the bunny people out.
Final Fantasy 14 Black Mage Edition.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that's the thing is they're also working on Final Fantasy 7 remake, which everyone's hyped for, but we know it's not coming for like another 2 years. We know, and the only reason why we know Kingdom Hearts is coming is because people in Japan have confirmed, like, the shipments have gone out. Like, we know it's coming at long last. Yeah. But at the same time, like, the big thing is,
I just want Half-Life 3.
That's never coming.
I know, and it saddens me.
No, you should just accept reality, Jeff. That they're just never.
No, reality sucks. If I had the reality stone, I would make. If I had the reality stone, I would make Half-Life 3.
No, you
That's
would.
stupid.
Yes, I would. I would just get Gaben and I would just be like, you'll make Half-Life 3, and he'll be like, oh, okay.
You know that stupid 10-year challenge thing, or 10 like yourself in 10 years later.
Yeah.
Or like from 10 years ago, then versus now. Freaking someone put up Half-Life 2 when that came out versus now. I was like, oh. It was like Half-Life 3. Oh.
I also like, I gotta be honest with you guys. So this week I basically, like, if you want to talk about another company that doesn't know when to shut up and stop, Sony's going to beat Ghostbusters in the ground again, because why the fuck not?
I'm slightly hopeful this is not in New York.
I have no hope for this movie.
I mean, if it's completely different, I'd be like, you know what? This is new, still Ghostbusters, completely different area.
Josh, let me explain to you what they're doing, and you'll like it. And Allan, you might like it too. They're basing it off of Ghostbusters 3. So the thing that Paul Feig's movie should have done?
Uh-huh.
You know, that thing that everyone wanted? Where it was like, oh, new Ghostbusters. And it ties into the original movies.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's not feminist propaganda. Cool. However, this has just been in teaser trailer. It looks like, I don't know, man. I'm not hyped. I my heart has already been stomped on by Ghostbusters 2016, which was not a bad movie, but just marketed so poorly that I really didn't want to see it.
Actually, somebody pointed this out to me, is I haven't seen it, and the stuff that I have seen, it's actually really boring. It's not even clever. It's not witty humor. There's no humor in it. And that's what I found out, is there's literally no humor in it. It's to the point where I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Like, what are we even going to do with this? There's no funny stuff. And it's not even like clever witty. There's no clever witty humor. There's no interesting like dialogue. It's boring.
There's maybe three jokes that you go, huh?
Yeah, you get you laugh one. You get a soft chuckle from. You don't get like laughter. And the thing is like out of all four women in that group, the only one who's essentially funny is the black woman. And even then the material is so bad she can't make it funny.
Well, like Leslie Jones is a really good comic and stuff like that, but like the problem with like, again, it's not even like, it wouldn't have been such a train wreck if people didn't amp it up and make it into this thing that it should have never been. And personally speaking, I would have been fine with that movie far more if it was written if it was Dan Aykroyd's script, but the plot was more in line with Ghostbusters, like 2. Where basically Ray was like, yeah, like I'm holding up the proton pack and like we can't do this anymore. And it's heavily implied that Egon died because of a ghost attack, and that kind of forced the other two out and moved everyone aside and stuff like that. Like, that's what I wanted. Okay, and then you have, like, Leslie Jones finding the proton pack, going to her friends who are actual scientists, and she's like, well, we should do it. Like, that would have made sense. Like, Leslie Jones is not a fucking incompetent actress. She's a little bit of a meanie on Twitter, but that's because everyone's a meanie on Twitter, and Twitter is a terrible website. And besides the point, Twitter, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not trying to be nice, but like seriously, Jack, like you're fucking retarded and stupid. Your site is terrible, and it makes me want to kick babies through goalposts.
You want a pro wrestler kick the baby?
I no, I want to like field kick them.
I mean, there's a wrestler also did that. It's a long story, but basically he dropped the baby like a soccer ball and then kicked it and went up like 20 feet in the air. But it wasn't real. But it was very hilarious.
Right. Okay. So like, why don't you like? I don't understand like why Paul Feig didn't like listen to the fans. And I think that they're doing the right thing with this one, but I'm still don't give two shits because it's like you burned all my goodwill away. Like it's hard for me to care when you're like, hey, you remember that movie that you loved? Yes. Here's a sniper rifle to its late kneecaps. Oh, okay. Like Ghostbusters is still one of the highest grossing comedies of all time. Okay, and Ghostbusters 2 and the animated series are still very good. So like when you ship total garbage and then you sit there and you use ideologue lens stuff, it doesn't make the movie better. So I'm surprised that Sony's willing to give it a chance instead of like going, nope, we fucked up and we completely killed this franchise like we did Spider-Man. Like, that's the thing that shocks me.
Yep.
Anyways. Josh, you played more genital jousting.
Actually, I played a different game.
Oh.
Although with this kind of similar title, I guess. Steven's Sausage Roll. It's similar title, but it's completely different. Trust me. So I play this game I'm surprised I played it for 3 hours, but it's a game where it has a very simple concept of you have these giant sausages and you're a character named, Stefan Sausage Roll.
Stefan Sausage Roll. I like it so far.
Yeah, so you're a character named Stefan. You got stranded on this island, and the only way to get off is solve these cooking sausage puzzles. And at first you're doing it and you're going, oh fuck, how do I even, maybe I roll the sausage this way, maybe I push it upward, maybe I roll it again, and fuck, I gotta restart again. But the thing about this game is that, yeah, you're rolling sausages to cook them on one side, and then you have to flip them over to cook on the other side of the sausage. But and that's all you do, and your character is just a dude with a giant fork, and you're just trying to move these sausages to cook them and to get it to the point where you can finish the level and leave. And it's one of those things of like, oh, this looks really simple, and it kind of is. But oh fuck, its difficulty can just like ramp up for no reason, and you'd be like, you just ram your head against a wall for like 15 minutes, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna try another puzzle. Which there's always a plethora of other puzzles to try. And now the thing is, for the difficulty of this game, I still haven't finished the first little island, which is about 15 puzzles. It's about 15, 12 puzzles. And again, you look at these puzzles and be like, that doesn't look too bad. And then you start doing it and you go, oh no. It's the mental leaps you have to do.
Oh,
But the funny thing is, though, every time I finish a puzzle, it gives me enough self-esteem to go, I'll try that next one. Hey, I finished it. I'll try the next one. Oh my god, I figured it out. I'll try the next one. I almost finished this fucking the first island, And I want to see, like, I know the game changes after this point because the game, if you can remember way back when this game first came out, it was listed for $44 fucking. Like, if you want to look up gameplay videos of what you're doing in this game, it's not a lot. You're not doing a lot. And also, like, the graphics kind of look shitty, but I would say that's on purpose. And also, like, you know, everything about this game is like, why is this game just makes you go $44 for this game? Why? And it's just once you get past a certain point, you start understanding, oh, there's a lot of nuance to everything that you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So
I give it a witness out of witness.
okay, that's a very high score. So Africa's playing forever in the desert.
What?
It's a great. Yeah, Africa's playing forever in the African desert.
No, some artists.
Some artist is playing Africa forever in the African or in a desert in Africa.
All right. Well, okay, you're gonna have to explain this one to me. I'm lost.
They hooked up 6 speakers to solar batteries, and then an MP3 player up to said solar batteries, and it plays Africa. And there's now a Twitter account that just tweets Africa lyrics every day. Yeah. And
I'm so not going to follow that.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're lame, Josh. Clearly do not like Africa as much as I love Africa.
I don't like Africa.
Clearly you just don't like it. I mean, that's completely fine. You just don't like your cultural heritage.
Don't like Africa.
I don't also even know anymore.
You don't even.
It's a third world country.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It is a third world country. He's
I'm not even mad. I'm just, wow.
He's disappointed. Josh, you're supposed to be the chosen one.
Funny thing is, they could be a first world country if they tried.
Funny thing is
Africa
that
as a whole, probably, but you know what the problem is? Man,
democracy.
All those cultural differences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who knew that cultural diversity is a problem? I didn't. He says, ironically.
Canada somehow has it together.
Yeah, but like we have it barely
Canada,
together.
No, Canada really doesn't.
No, we just fuck.
Somehow
we just avoid blowing each other up.
We just go, it's fucking freezing outside. I'm just gonna watch porn and play video games.
We're gonna
pretty much
outside. Yep, pretty much.
So I did a bunch of initial opinions of games. Played Dusk. Dusk is okay. People should play Dusk. I played the first level of Dusk. It took me 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes worth of my time. I also finally downloaded Path of Exile and got up to the first town. It was worth my time.
Oh, was it?
It was really good. I looked at the skill tree and literally came my pants.
Yeah, I was there when you're like, is this the skill tree? And I'm like, did you zoom out? And you're like, yeah, I did. Because when you first get into that skill tree, you're like, oh, it's kind of, you're like, you see a little plot of it, and you're like, oh, there's more around, and you start moving the scroll, start moving around the map, and you're like, oh, there's a lot. Oh, there's quite a bit. Oh, does this end? And you finally realize, oh wait, if I use the scroll wheel, maybe I'll see the whole thing. Oh yeah, you can see the whole thing, and you're like, this is like a sphere grid if it's not shitty.
I also got the new Star Fox game, Starlink.
Oh, I've actually seen some people play it. It doesn't look like a bad game.
No, it's not. It's a good game. You should play that game with the dock and not on a Switch. That's my opinion. You should play with your dock.
I won't even lie. I knew that when I first saw that game get announced. I was like, that is a game that does not leave the dock.
Yeah, no, it doesn't leave the dock very well. The other thing is that it's okay, and it was worth my time. See the running theme here? I also played Dawn of War, too.
Good.
I just started it. I finished the first mission.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a good tutorial mission. Orcs were being orcs.
Orc.
Yeah. Instead of doing actual work on my video game, I actually played video games. So that means I have to do work tomorrow on our video game, which I'm probably just going to download Maya for and then do all the things I wanted to do this week on it, and then break down into a tear of sweat and give up on life, because that's what I do now. Anyways.
I don't really think we have much else to talk about tonight. Unless Josh has something. I don't have anything, because I haven't played any video games. I've been like reading a psychology book for the past fucking 6 hours today.
Why would you do that to yourself? That sounds like torture.
Because it's studying.
But studying's hard.
I've also been playing Path of Exile.
Yeah.
And it's better Diablo. Actually, it's I wouldn't say better Diablo, it's different Diablo.
It's Diablo, but good.
No, but the thing is, Diablo is a mindset of what's the bigger number? This is the bigger number. Thank you. Where freaking Path of Exile is, okay, so this one has better magic and this one has better strength, but has slightly better magic. Oh, and also has a better bonus for your sockets. Oh wait, but this one has a better bonus for your shit and your boots, and and also like it's just branches everywhere, and you're just trying to consolidate it to like, well, I just want to be better at strength, so I'm gonna pick all of these ones and hope I'm fine. It's one of those games. If the game doesn't tell you what to do, you figure it out, which is, that's great, because
it punches you in the dick and then calls you a whore.
No, it doesn't punch you in the dick. It's more of like it gives you a whole book and it says read it.
Yes. Yes.
I expect an essay in 2 weeks.
Fuck it. You wanna learn? Yeah. Read this book.
Sweet. What else was I gonna say? Okay, so basically, yeah, I got to do some studying for labs because my teacher's like, you have to do these 2 exercises by yourself, and it's like, oh, great. And this is the class that everyone gets like 50% in. So by honor roll, I missed you. I'll miss you. I got on the dean's honor roll. Dear God.
I'd be
Kill
impressed
me.
if you manage to stay on the honor roll. If that's how bad that game.
What?
If that's how bad that class is, I'll be impressed if you remain on the honor roll.
That's how bad it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck,
Like,
buddy.
Database was fucking bullshit, man.
All right, I think that's a podcast.
Anyways.
Though.
Is that podcast, boys?
I would say
I
so.
think so.
Go ahead. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Black Mind Podcast, episode 183. The worst number ever. We'll be back next week with another episode on Thursday, which is released every Thursday. And yes, I'm fucking stupid right now. My brain's not working. Fuck off. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. You can also listen to us on YouTube or your podcasting app of choice, now including Google Play. Hope everyone has a good time, and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's great. Okay, so...
As you say, it's no, just throw it in chat.
Okay. So, Allan, you know those new Shaggy memes?
Yep.
So, somebody at school, which, okay, I got another story I got to tell. So, I'm an evil fuck. I sat there, and so I'm sitting in school, and I'm being me, and I'm a little bit annoyed at the world
No,
for
jeez.
reasons. It's cold outside and stuff like that,
Yeah, fair.
right?
Because
And
maybe it's cold outside.
yeah, you know. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just like shooting the shit with a friend, and she's like basically doing whatever. And so basically I said something, she said something, and one of our mutual friends, who will not be named, basically said that we could not be friends anymore. And I was okay with this, honestly. I was like, okay, whatever, fine. I don't really care. It's not a big deal. It's not like Noah or Josh or you. But basically she was like, no, I'll say something nice. And so you say something nice. And I said, no, I'm not going to say anything nice. It's not, I don't want to say anything nice. Plus, I have nothing nice to say. So it's not, there's no point. And so she got super like desperate. And then he goes like, you know, she's going to remember this in 20 years and stuff like that. It's going to be like those Telltale games. So she sent me a message on Discord. And I literally pick up my phone, look at it. The message pops up, message from blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, okay, this is going to be funny. Look, put the phone down. I didn't get a message. That's odd. You sent it. Hadouken! She goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, my name's
Commander Shepard.
Oh no! Why would you do that?
because I'm an evil fuck. So she like literally like goes, wait, what? But your name everywhere else is Rock Eagle. Oh no, it's bipolar pair. We switched names. So she basically goes, oh my god, I sent it to the wrong person. She sends it. I was hoping that she would send in a message to somebody, to bipolar, so that way then he would go, what the fuck, and re-at her.
Yeah.
Because that would have been fucking hilarious. But no, she goes over to a third friend, and she goes like, is his name Rock Eagle? And he's like, oh yeah, totally, it's Rock Eagle. And I'm just sitting there smug as I can be, just Jeremy Clarkson-esque smug face.
Yep.
So I'm just sitting there grinning ear to ear, just evil as can be, and it was fucking hilarious. But anyways, back to the first story. So I post this message, the not bad, Thanos man. You made me use 10% of my power. Shaggy meme.
Yep.
Because Shaggy's best. And then she goes, how is this fucking possible? Or I want to read this actual sentence. She goes, what? Why? XD. She's kind of kawaii. It's kind of bad. So I made an equation. And the equation actually makes fucking sense.
Okay.
And it's scary how much it makes sense. Because basically the way that it works is that we have a variable called W. W represents weed intake. So if you take in, let's say, 4 joints, okay, that would be broken out into some random number. Okay?
Okay.
Plus humanity. So if you're like, let's say humanity is like, you're very human, you're very spiritually alive and stuff like that. Humanity, like a Dark Souls number. Okay, so you're at least 1% one human. So you have 1 unit of humanity, okay?
Yep.
Divided by R, which is reason to live. Now, this is the important part, and this is the reason why the equation works so well. Basically, Shaggy has between 0 and 1% one reason to live. It's some decibel in between the two of them, but it's 0 and 1. So what happens when you times it by that is that the number immediately goes up. So all Shaggy does all day is basically eat Scooby snacks. He's the most human out of the mystery gang, so it makes sense that his power would be in the billions.
Yeah.
Right? So I basically explained, this equation is so fucking perfect that basically it explains how the fact Super Saiyans are so super powerful.
You know, I I can understand doing some dumb things during class when it's slow, or you're doing work and you're like, I got my free time, I'm just gonna sit here and draw something or something. No, you decided to figure out a meme power level against Thanos versus Scooby-Doo in a fucking shitty meme I can't even comprehend, so I'm gonna post an even better one. Which because this one speaks to me, but you have to read the whole thing. It isn't a stupid Twitter post.
Okay, hang on. I actually have to load this in my Google. Hang on.
I know, it's dumb. I can't get the pictures. I could just download them. I'm doing that.
Oh, look, it's pancakes.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to read the whole thing.
Meh artist.
Oh, it's fine. You look good.
But Josh, the reason why this is so fucking hilarious is because it worked well, and you can go into different areas. Like after this, she goes, weed square sounds terrifying. Fine, how high would he have to be? And it's like depends on you're introducing multiple variables like absorption and THC absorption, method of consumption, and THC potency. So we can go one step further with this equation and make it 10 times more complicated. Yeah, I don't.
I just don't know anymore. What is life?
What is life? Life is a lot of things. My stupid equation is perfect, though.
Guess God.
The person whose opinion matters more to me is honestly like Allan's, because Allan's going to sit there and be like at the same time like, what the fuck? Why would you waste your time doing this? But Allan doesn't seem to care, so it's okay.
I'm just choosing to ignore it.
You're just choosing to ignore it.
I'm reading about fallacies right now, so.
This is a fallacy.
Refusing to validity.
Could be worse. You could have cool moms, Lane.
Huh?
Berserk.
Uh-huh.
I was just reminded of this.
Oh, wait, hold on. If we want... I don't think I got much topic list other than I've been playing that stupid sausage game.
I don't have much of a topic list this week.
How many weeks has this been?
I don't know.
This is now week 4.
Week 3?
4.
3 or 4? Okay. We could. Do you want to start the show? Because we could talk about how Gillette fucked everything over as well.
Oh boy.
Let's start, and I should chime in because I've seen this commercial.
And fuck it.
Well, the thing is like at first I'm like, it feels like there's nothing wrong here. And then afterwards, it's like, I guess it does paint dudes in the negative light, but it's like there's still a good message here.
No, there isn't.
But the problem with it isn't that it's like the message isn't bad. It's the fact that like the message is so many people are looking at the other people, the other dudes, and it's not sitting there saying you can do better. It's missing the mark completely. Like that's the problem with it, is that everyone's getting caught up into it to the point of where it's like why?
Oh, so people are just reading too hard into it?
I think so. They're reading into it.
I've seen this commercial and I'm like, I see nothing wrong. So what's wrong with it?
I can explain why it's wrong. What's wrong with it? But I'm going to do it in the podcast.
Let's save it for the podcast.
And Josh, you're going to hate me for this because I'm going to ruin that video for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, I need someone to explain why because I just still don't see it.
No worries, I will.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be something where like it's going to be like, oh, like it's not like an attack on you, but it's weird because it's like at the same time, I want to sit here and I want to rant about it for 20 minutes, but I don't really care that much because it's a fucking ad. And it's like, why are people fucking complaining about an ad? Just
Anyway,
don't buy the product.
Start it.
Okay, so let's think. We'll do the Gillette thing, then we'll move on to like Ghostbusters 3 or Africa playing in the desert forever, and fuck it. Okay?
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay, sync in 3, 2, 1.